snowball number is 21.
Dude. What are you doing? Hugh. Hey, quit screwing around. We are here to do a job. You hearing me?
$2 million!
Never went to the bank at all. It's all gone. Ah, screw it.
After you make money, you get rich and all of that shit, right? Like, what really matters after that? It's boring being around mad rich people. Like, that shit is whack. I'm not even gonna lie. Like, that shit is trash. Whatever they advertise and all that shit is trash.
What is the worst part about being around rich people?
It's no swag. There's no energy. There's no sauce. A lot of rich people don't got no sauce. Like most rich people you know, like most entertainers, it's sauceless. That's why I feel like a lot of rich people buy art and clothes and shit. Because like you can buy into somebody's sauce. It's like, I'm gonna get this George Condo because like he put his soul on a canvas and I lost mine, so like I can hang somebody else's art. It's like you done did so much shit for money that you like, you kind of lost yourself in it. The best thing you could do is show somebody else's soul. Listen to this James Brown record, like he's bearing his soul in this record, but where's yours? They're not tapped into self, so they have to buy. They just buy. And it's like, when you have the sauce, you don't have to buy.
Because you're tapped into yourself.
Yeah, and buying is like a form of running. You will always be running. Like, that shit's gonna get tiring. Why? Because you're gonna keep buying, and then people gonna only keep loving you because of something else, because you're chasing that something else, and you're wearing that something else, and you're gonna get tired of that fake love. So it's like, love yourself more.
There's a saying out there that money is the root of all evil. And I don't believe in this saying. I don't believe in this saying, because money is just money. It's just pieces of paper that we attribute value to. That's all it is, right? But where does this saying comes from? Like, why do people say that money is the root of all evil? I want you to use your imagination for this video, okay? Imagine I gave you $1 million.
Look what we got!
Could it be? Me $1 million?
Now, what would you do with this money? Would you go and spend it on frugal things, on the vanity items of life? Or would you reinvest it into your community? Would you reinvest it into yourself? Would you reinvest it into things that have longevity? I was watching a Joe Rogan podcast, and there was this guy who was talking about the economy and stuff. And he said how if you were to trade the poor people get the rich people money and the rich people get the poor people money, right? Like some Freaky Friday stuff. If that were to happen, the economy would be right back to where it started within the matter of 1 week. And that's because people who aren't used to masses of wealth, they don't know what to do with that money. That's why, you know, when you look at a lot of lottery winners, they usually end up bankrupt, right? When they end up worse off where they started when they won the lottery.
At first, Tom and Amy quit their jobs and started spending.
We just bought whatever we wanted.
Cars, boats, a big new house.
We went on big sprees. It's amazing how fast that money can go.
They took expensive trips, each costing thousands.
We've been to Ireland. We've been to Hawaii. We've been to Alaska. We have a timeshare in Cancun.
It seemed everybody had their hand out.
We had friends coming out of the woodwork. Family always needs money.
She's given away almost $1 million over the years.
A few of our friends said, let's milk it for as long as we can. I've been hurt many times by people that I thought were friends. I just have a problem with saying no. I'm terrible. I just cannot say no.
Amy and Tom eventually moved to a place where no one knew them.
A lot of my friends from New York, I do not speak to anymore.
Really? So do you wish you'd never won the money?
Sometimes I do.
Really? How so?
Well, I wish I was poor old Amy back in New York where everybody just liked me for me and they didn't look at me with dollar signs in their eyes.
Now, why is this phenomenon? Why does this happen that, you know, people who aren't used to wealth can't manage the wealth? It's the same thing with the vasana, right? The grooves in the mind. The way how you develop yourself in life is the way how you treat life. See, people who can't manage money as well, they're gonna treat it, right? It's the same thing with power, right? Like people who don't have a developed character will abuse power. Same thing, they will abuse all the things in life. They will abuse women, they will abuse drugs, they'll abuse food, they'll abuse their body, they'll abuse other people, they'll mentally abuse, physically abuse, all these things because they're not conscious. Now, the story with that lottery winner, you see how she was being abused, how people took her kindness for weakness because she didn't develop herself with money to know how to handle it and handle people who ask for it. And, you know what I mean? She just won it. And because she won it, you know, there's a difference, man. There's a difference. When you earn your money, you can speak. You'll be like, what, man, I earned this. Well, you can't ask me for this and complain that I'm not giving what? But if you won it, that's a difference now. Now it's like, well, do I really deserve this money? I just got lucky with this. Like, yeah, I should bless the people around me. You know, it's a difference. So I feel like that's why she felt guilty in the whole sense of like, yeah, I should help out with other people. That's why she couldn't say no. And I'm not saying that, you know, if you have masses of wealth, you shouldn't help people. That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying that there's a way to balance and manage yourself through the development of how you've obtained your money, right? Like you have checks and balances. If you just acquire masses of wealth, now it's like you don't have a discipline. Because of this lack of discipline, you're going to be excited about the money. You're going to be excited about the countless opportunities you can spend your money on things. You know, oh, what can I buy now? Ooh, because when you have money now, it's like the gates are open. You know what I mean? It's like the things that were blocked off to you before, they're open to you now. You know, before you couldn't take this flight, now you can. Before you couldn't buy this car, now you can. Before you couldn't get this, now you can. And all of those opportunities opening up can destroy one's mind if they're not disciplined. But you see, most people are not focused on the journey of life. They're only focused on trying to keep up with the Joneses and being like, oh, I'm better than you, because I have this item of life, because I possess this item of life. I'm over here with money, and that makes me better than you. Yes, I'm the best person around because I have money. You know, like they just try to feel different or feel special or above or whatever. It's the ego, the plays and the tricks of the mind, right? And it follows a predictable karmic path of destruction. Remember what I said, you can use money as a tool or it can use you as a tool. See, money is a current, it's a currency, it's a flow of energy. There's only 3 ways to acquire money. There's only 3 ways you can acquire money in this life, bro. You trade your time for money, which is what 80% of people are doing. Everybody's doing that. There's no shame in the game. Everybody's doing that shit, bro. You can invest your money and have your money work for you, right? Invest your money into assets that give you equity, money coming back, you know, passive income. And thirdly, you can create businesses. You can create multiple streams of income by solving problems. See, this is the thing. You have to solve a problem of life in order for it to be a business. Okay? Solve a problem of life and then it creates a business. And then it could be something as simple as buttons. Like, oh man, shirts needed buttons. That's a business. The button business. The reason why wealth isn't created amongst people is because they don't have the mentality of wealth. They only have the mentality of consuming, consumerism. Like they're just looking for things to add to their lives to feel better about themselves. You know, they're spending to think about themselves. They're only spending on themselves, right? Now, someone who is wealthy reinvests their money. They reinvest. They think long term. It's not about here and now, let me spend this money to make me feel good today. No, I'm going to put this money here so that I'm good my whole life. In order to do these things, you have to manage yourself. You have to be in balance with yourself. You have to know yourself. What you spend your money on is where your energy is going to. Understand the economy that you're a part of. Understand which part you take up. Now, the reason why I'm saying all this, right, is because I've had a brother, right? Older brother, my oldest brother. And I'm just going to tell a little personal story, okay? A little personal story. But it's one of these stories that cannot go untold. It cannot, it really, is a sight to behold, man. This man, I love him dearly, bro. I love him dearly. I'm not talking down on my bro, but he did something very foolish. This man won a $3 million lawsuit settlement. Fine and dandy. And, you know, me and him at the time, we weren't, you know, on best of terms. We weren't really seeing eye to eye because we was going through conflicts, right? Whatever, family stuff. And when he won this settlement, I didn't want a dime. I didn't want none of it. You know, I don't want to come begging for, you know, I don't want to be like a fake ass person. Like, oh, now you won something. Now I'm going to change my tune and be like, well, can I get something too? No. I'm not going to do that. Right. So I'm like, hey, congratulations. You got it. You go live your life. Right. This man is buying all types of stuff. He's buying vans. He's buying multiple cars. He's going to different houses, renting out different houses, Airbnb-ing. And it's like he doesn't have the wherewithal. He doesn't have the knowledge of like how to start a business or how to maintain a business. So he's just bleeding money, constantly bleeding money. And within the span of a year, why this man end up bankrupt, bro? Like nothing to his name, bro. All the cars are gone. All the vans are gone. He had to sell them back to make the money back to pay rent. Like all the money was gone. All of it. Bro, he wasn't conscious of his path. He wasn't conscious of what he was doing, right? First, he started out like this.
Hide the money, y'all. There's poor people around. With your broke ass.
And then his story ended like this.
Dad said I need to put it in the bank so it can grow over the years.
Well, that's fantastic. A really smart decision, young man. We can put that check in a money market mutual fund. Then we'll reinvest the earnings into foreign currency accounts with compounding interest, and it's gone.
What?
It's gone. It's all gone.
What's all gone?
The money in your account. It didn't do too well. It's gone.
Now, once you've escaped the matrix of consumerism, right? There's many matrices out here, bro. Many matrices. And that's one of them. The matrix of consuming things and buying things to try to, you know, impress people, right? Once you've escaped that, then you see the bigger picture. Now you start seeing there are dark forces in this economy that's manipulating the masses.
None of you shall run the bank. We have failed in the past because of openness. This time, the key to success is secrecy. The people must believe that they run the bank.
Yes, brilliant! A sneak attack. What's the plan?
We first create panic, then we show them the solution. With our man in office and well-planned timing, we will have our central bank. And so the people think it is theirs. We shall christen it Federal. The Federal Reserve.
Okay, I mean, I sort of get what you're saying, but it's also confusing, and really, I don't see how it affects me at all. If I had more money, none of this would have happened. 1955? Wow, what are we doing here?
Oh, a little bit of shopping. Here, hold this. Gallon of gas, 23 cents. Postage stamp, 3 cents. Ounce of gold, $35. Hot baby, priceless. Best be getting back. Would you agree that you have the same exact things you had in 1955?
Yeah, 1 stamp, 1 gallon of gas, 1 ounce of gold, and 1 home. Wow, we just made a lot of money.
Hey! Gotta pay your taxes. The IRS and the Fed's inflation work together, pal. They aren't just taxing gain, they are taxing their inflation. You are no richer than you were in 1955. Now, does that sound fair or American to you?
Yeah, but I mean, who doesn't hate taxes? I hate the IRS anyway.
Pal, the higher they make the inflation, the more your money they take. It's thievery. You're not paying taxes on any more. You are paying taxes on the same. And now you have less.
For we are opposed around the world by a monolithic and ruthless conspiracy that relies primarily on covert means for expanding its sphere of influence.
What's happening? Where am I?
I believe perhaps you understand now, pal, but you are afraid.
What does this have to do with my house and my dog? Oh, okay, that's enough. I want to go home now.
This is the last president to stand up to the Fed. You must see. On June 4, 1963, President Kennedy signed Executive Order 11110. This executive order empowered the U.S. Treasury to issue real money without the Fed. It would have worked. Kennedy's plan to dismantle the Federal Reserve machine had begun. But 6 months later, John F. Kennedy went to Dallas and never returned.
No way. No way they could do that.
The new president, Lyndon Johnson, threw out Kennedy's order. And since JFK, no president has dared confront the secret powers behind the Federal Reserve. They consolidate bigger and bigger banks, print more and more money, accountable to no one, decimating our nation's wealth for the benefit of a few.
Why? Why do this? If they hurt us, it hurts the global bankers too.
No, Pyle. They are protected. They are too big to fail.
But I'm not.
Those sons of bitches!
Now, remember what I said about conspiracies. A lot of times people have this connotation on the word conspiracy, like, oh, it doesn't happen. But you got to remind yourself, bro, we're dealing with humans. We're dealing with people here that are corrupted. You don't know where their heart lies. You don't know where their soul lies. And this is why developing a level of discernment, right, to decipher through the fake and the real in life, develop that third eye, that, you know, that shotting gun, so that you could see through the illusions of life. You could be like, oh, okay, you're trying to trick me. Oh, okay. You don't got to get offended. It's just the way of life. There are things here that are here to trick you. Just focus on the things that help you grow. Subscribe, like the video if you liked it, dislike it if you dislike.